Embracing Discomfort, the surprising path to extraordinary success. Welcome to the BlackCEO podcast, where we challenge conventional wisdom and ignite your passion for growth. Today, we're diving into a conversation that will revolutionize your perspective on success, challenge your comfort zone, and inspire you to reach for greatness you never thought possible. I recently had the incredible privilege of interviewing Jacqueline Edwards, a visionary leader whose insights have the power to transform lives and reshape our understanding of success. Jacqueline isn't just a successful businesswoman. She's a force of nature, a catalyst for change, and a beacon of hope for aspiring leaders everywhere. Her wisdom and experiences have left an indelible mark on me, and I'm thrilled to share these invaluable lessons with you. Jacqueline's journey is a testament to the power of embracing discomfort and challenging the status quo. She's not just talked the talk, she's walked the walk, breaking barriers and opening doors for countless others along the way. Her impact extends far beyond the boardroom, touching lives and inspiring change on a global scale. Now, let me ask you a question that might make you squirm a little. When was the last time you did something that truly scared you? Something that made your palms sweat, your heart race, and your mind scream, what on earth am I doing? If you're like most people, you probably can't remember. And that, my friends, is precisely the problem. You see, we've been sold a lie, a comforting, cozy, utterly deceptive lie that tells us success comes from playing it safe, from sticking to what we know, from staying within the boundaries of our comfort zone. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking your true potential lies not in avoiding challenges, but in running headfirst into them? That's the revolutionary idea at the heart of our discussion today. It's a concept that flies in the face of everything we've been taught about success and happiness. And it's a truth that Jacqueline Edwards has not only embraced, but is used to catapult herself to extraordinary heights. Let's start with a provocative thought. What if the very thing holding you back is your reluctance to get uncomfortable? We often shy away from discomfort, don't we? We stick to our routines, our safe spaces, our comfort zones. But Jacqueline challenged me to flip that script. She asked, what if discomfort is the price of admission to a life of extraordinary achievement? Now, I know what you're thinking. Easy for her to say she's already successful, but here's the kicker. Jacqueline wasn't born into success. She carved her path one uncomfortable step at a time. And that's the first lesson I want to share with you today. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's your ally in disguise. Jacqueline shared a story that perfectly illustrates this point. Early in her career, she was offered a position that seemed way out of her league. The role required skills she hadn't mastered and involved responsibilities that made her palms sweat just thinking about them. Her first instinct? Run, hide, stick to what she knew. But instead, she took a deep breath and said yes. For weeks, she felt like an imposter. She worked longer hours than anyone else, asked questions that made her feel foolish, and made mistakes that kept her up at night. But you know what? With each passing day, those uncomfortable moments became a little less daunting. She was growing, learning, evolving, and before she knew it, she wasn't just surviving in that role, she was thriving. This brings us to our second key insight. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. It's in those moments of doubt, of struggle, of feeling completely out of your depth that you discover what you're truly capable of. Jacqueline didn't just step out of her comfort zone, she took a flying leap. And in doing so, she discovered strengths she never knew she had. But let's be real for a moment. This isn't easy. It's not about being fearless. It's about being brave enough to feel the fear and do it anyway. Jacqueline admitted that even now, decades into her successful career, she still feels those butterflies in her stomach when facing a new challenge. The difference? She's learned to befriend those butterflies, to see them not as a warning to retreat, but as a sign that she's about to grow. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's great for her, but my situation is different. I'm really stuck. And that's where Jacqueline's next piece of wisdom comes in. If you're stuck, you don't have to stay there. This isn't just motivational fluff, it's a call to action. Jacqueline shared a powerful analogy that stuck with me. She said, imagine you're in a car stuck in the mud. You have two choices. You can sit there, engine running, wheels spinning, getting more and more frustrated, or you can get out, assess the situation, and start looking for solutions. Maybe you need to put something under the wheels for traction. Maybe you need to call for help. But sitting there doing the same thing over and over isn't going to get you anywhere. This analogy is brilliant because it applies to so many areas of our lives. Are you stuck in a job you hate, in a relationship that's not fulfilling, in a mindset that's holding you back? The first step is to recognize that you have the power to change your situation. It might not be easy and it might not happen overnight, but the power lies within you. Jacqueline emphasized the importance of taking that first step, no matter how small. Maybe it's updating your resume or having that difficult conversation you've been avoiding or signing up for a class to learn a new skill. The specific action isn't as important as the mindset shift it represents, from passive acceptance to active engagement with your life. But here's where Jacqueline's advice gets really interesting. She doesn't just advocate for individual action. She stresses the importance of building a supportive network. This brings us to our third key insight. Your environment shapes your potential. Jacqueline shared a personal story that beautifully illustrates this point. Early in her career, she found herself in a toxic work environment. Her colleagues were competitive to the point of sabotage. Her boss was unsupportive, and the overall culture was one of fear and mistrust. Despite her best efforts, she found herself becoming cynical, less creative, and increasingly unhappy. It was then that she made a decision that would change the trajectory of her career. She actively sought out mentors and peers who inspired her, who challenged her to be better. She joined professional organizations, attended conferences, and built relationships with people who shared her values and ambitions. The result? Her perspective shifted. She started seeing opportunities where before she only saw obstacles. She became more confident, more innovative, and ultimately more successful. As Jacqueline put it, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. This doesn't mean you should abandon people who are struggling or cut ties with anyone who isn't as ambitious as you. It's about being intentional about the energy you surround yourself with. It's about seeking out relationships that lift you up, challenge you to grow, and support you when you stumble. Now, let's talk about something that Jacqueline emphasized repeatedly during our conversation: the power of passion. She believes, and I agree, that passion is the fuel that drives sustained success. But here's the twist. Passion isn't always something you're born with. Sometimes it's something you cultivate through dedication and hard work. Jacqueline shared a fascinating perspective on this. She said people often think they need to find their passion before they can succeed. But in reality, passion often follows mastery. The more you invest in developing a skill or understanding a subject, the more passionate you become about it. This is a game changer, folks. It means that if you're feeling stuck or unfulfilled in your current path, you have the power to change that. By dedicating yourself to learning, to improving, to mastering your craft, whatever that may be, you can ignite a passion that will drive you forward. But Jacqueline didn't stop there. She emphasized that true passion isn't just about personal fulfillment. It's about making a positive impact on the world around you. She challenged me, and now I'm challenging you to think beyond individual success. How can your passion, your skills, your unique perspective contribute to something greater than yourself? This brings us to a crucial point: the importance of giving back and lifting others as you climb. Jacqueline's success isn't just measured in her personal achievements, but in the lives she's touched and the doors she's opened for others. She shared stories of mentoring young professionals, of using her platform to advocate for underrepresented groups, of creating opportunities for those who might otherwise be overlooked. And here's the beautiful thing. This approach doesn't just benefit others. It enriches your own life and career in ways you might never have imagined. Jacqueline found that by helping others succeed, she opened herself up to new perspectives, new opportunities, and a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. Now, let's dive deeper into some of the specific strategies Jacqueline shared for embracing discomfort and pushing beyond our limits. One technique she swears by is what she calls the 5% rule. The idea is simple. Every day, push yourself to do something that's just 5% outside your comfort zone. It could be striking up a conversation with a stranger, speaking up in a meeting when you'd usually stay quiet, or trying a new approach to a familiar task. The beauty of the 5% rule is that it's manageable. It's not about making massive, terrifying leaps every day. It's about consistently nudging your boundaries, gradually expanding your comfort zone over time. And here's the kicker. Those small daily acts of courage compound, Before you know it, you're tackling challenges that would have seemed insurmountable just months ago. Jacqueline shared a personal anecdote about how she used the 5% rule to overcome her fear of public speaking. She started small, volunteering to give brief updates in team meetings. Then she moved on to presenting to larger groups within her company. Each time, she pushed herself just a little bit further. Today, she's a sought-after keynote speaker who can command the attention of thousands. But it all started with those small, daily acts of courage. Another powerful insight Jacqueline shared is the concept of failing forward. Too often, we view failure as the end of the road, a sign that we're not cut out for success. But Jacqueline sees failure differently. She views it as a necessary step on the path to success, a valuable learning opportunity that propels us forward. She told me about a major product launch early in her career that fell flat. It was a public failure, one that could have derailed her career if she let it. But instead of retreating or making excuses, she dove deep into understanding what went wrong. She reached out to customers, analyzed data, and had tough conversations with her team. The lessons she learned from that failure informed her approach to product development for years to come, ultimately leading to some of her biggest successes. The key, Jacqueline says, is to reframe how we think about failure. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask yourself, what will I learn when this doesn't go as planned? This shift in perspective takes the paralyzing fear out of failure and turns it into a tool for growth. Now let's talk about a concept that Jacqueline is particularly passionate about, the power of diverse perspectives. In today's rapidly changing world, the ability to see problems from multiple angles is more valuable than ever. And one of the best ways to cultivate this skill is by intentionally seeking out diverse viewpoints and experiences. Jacqueline shared a story about a time when her team was struggling to solve a particularly thorny problem. They'd been working on it for weeks, but kept hitting dead ends. In frustration, she decided to bring in people from completely different departments, folks who had no direct experience with the issue at hand. To everyone's surprise, it was a junior employee from the customer service department who came up with the breakthrough idea that ultimately solved the problem. This experience taught Jacqueline a valuable lesson. Innovation often comes from unexpected places. By creating an environment where all voices are heard and valued, regardless of title or background, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. But embracing diversity isn't just about problem solving. It's about personal growth too. Jacqueline challenges herself and now challenges us to regularly engage with people whose experiences and viewpoints differ from our own. Read books by authors from different cultures. Attend events outside your usual circle. Strike up conversations with people you might not normally interact with. These experiences, while sometimes uncomfortable, expand our understanding of the world and our place in it. Now, I want to address something that might be on your mind. As we talk about embracing discomfort and pushing boundaries, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking this means you need to be in a constant state of stress or anxiety. But that's not what Jacqueline is advocating for at all. In fact, she emphasizes the importance of balance and self-care in this journey of growth. Jacqueline shared a powerful metaphor that stuck with me. She said, think of your comfort zone as a muscle. To grow stronger, you need to challenge it regularly. But you also need periods of rest and recovery. Push too hard without giving yourself time to recharge, and you risk burnout or injury. This balance is crucial. Embracing discomfort doesn't mean ignoring your well-being. It means being intentional about when and how you challenge yourself, and equally intentional about how you recover and recharge. For Jacqueline, this means having a solid morning routine that sets her up for success. She starts each day with meditation and exercise, giving her the mental and physical energy to tackle challenges. She also schedules regular white space in her calendar time with no specific agenda, allowing for reflection, creativity, and spontaneity. As we near the end of our time together, I want to circle back to where we started, the idea that we are in control of our destiny. Jacqueline's journey from facing her fears and embracing discomfort to actively shaping her environment and cultivating her passions is a testament to this truth. But it's not just her story. It can be your story too. So, I want to leave you with a challenge. Think about an area of your life where you feel stuck or unfulfilled. Now, imagine the version of yourself that has overcome that challenge. What did that version of you do differently? What uncomfortable steps did they take? What relationships did they cultivate? What skills did they develop? Now, here's the kicker. That future version of you isn't some distant, unattainable ideal. It's you right now making the decision to take that first step. It's you choosing to embrace discomfort as a sign of growth. It's you actively shaping your environment and cultivating your passions. It's you recognizing that you have the power to write your own story. Remember, success isn't a destination. It's a journey, and that journey begins with a single step, often in an uncomfortable direction. But as Jacqueline Edwards has shown us, it's in those moments of discomfort, of challenge, of pushing beyond what we thought possible that we truly come alive. So here's my call to action for you. Choose discomfort. Choose growth. Choose to be the author of your own story. Start with something small. Remember the 5% rule. Maybe it's sending that email you've been putting off or having that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, do it today, and then do something else tomorrow and the day after that. Create a discomfort diary where you log these daily acts of courage. Celebrate your wins no matter how small they might seem. Learn from your setbacks, and most importantly, keep pushing forward. Seek out mentors and peers who will challenge you to be your best self. Cultivate an environment that nurtures your growth, and as you climb, remember to reach back and lift others up with you. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. It's time to step out, to embrace the unknown, to welcome the butterflies in your stomach as old friends. Because on the other side of that discomfort, that's where the magic happens. That's where you'll find the extraordinary life you've always dreamed of. You have the power to shape your destiny. The question is, are you brave enough to use it? Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. Now go out there and make your mark on the world. Your future self will thank you for it.